Alrighty, hello guys. I got some Blackwings here for you. So I got this deck profile and then I got a bunch of games for you. So, just don't look at it and then quit because I got some games immediately after this. So here's the deck. Yeah, I'll go ahead and scroll over it while I talk. But yeah, it's a pretty good deck, I would say. The whole point is mainly to make Master Key Beetle. And once you do make Master Key Beetle, you want to equip him with the safe zone. So it's a really good lock and they can't really do much. So yeah, I'll come back and explain the cards after the duels, and yeah, I'll be back in a second to show you some duels. Alrighty, so we got the duels, and now we're gonna hop into our first game, which is against my buddy Ironclad Wolf, and it's a match duel, but we didn't side because we're good friends and we don't really side against each other, because that's no fun. But yeah, I'm gonna start off with the Card Trooper and just mill some cards, and I milled a safe zone, but that's alright. If I would have drew that safe zone, it would have been nice, but whatever. I really run the card troopers because I want the draws plus 1900 beaters pretty good. And yeah, I'm going to attack the Galaxy card with Shura. I'm going to drop the Clute because I want to get the cards. And yeah, I accidentally went through all of my targets with card trooper because I have double Koichi and then I have the Gale. Those are pretty much the targets. And yeah, he's doing some shenanigans. And I'm not even going to try to commentate that. But yeah, I'm going to Heavy Storm because he set 3, and then I'm going to use Compulse to bounce the Clute back to my hand, and then I get a nice +1 for that. And yeah, so just gonna go for Shockmaster randomly, because why not? And I couldn't attack with Threatening Roar, so yeah. And then he summons the Galaxy card to add more, but I already activated Shockmaster, so he can't use spell cards, and that's just good now, isn't it? And just gonna do some crazy stuff here. And yeah, just showing off some of the plays that this deck can in fact do. And yeah, you realize it's this game because I can just attack, attack, attack. So I'm gonna hop into game 2, right meow. And yeah, we're hopping into it right meow. So this is game 2. You can see that I wasn't playing the cardies when you looked at the first, or when I just showed you the deck, because I took them out because yeah, I felt like they were getting way too slow. Like, they're not really slow, it's just I feel like I would rather have an opening with Card Trooper instead of having to use Cardie, but that's alright. And this one I misplayed a little bit, I accidentally used the safe zone, which obviously wasn't the best of ideas. And yeah, but so I'm just going to summon the Bora and then set the safe zone because why not? And he's going to attack into my Bora, lose Bora. I was kind of hoping he'd be scared of something, but that's okay. I'm just going to summon Shura, special Bora, and then go for Master Key Beetle because I have the safe zone ready for him. And then I'm just going to attack over the lad, and then he's going to get the Galaxy card back, which is really good actually. And yeah, I pretty much learned from this deck that you usually want to use safe zone immediately, because if they activate something like Smashing Ground and you chain safe zone, you're just out of luck at that point. But yeah, he goes for that Tachyon Dragon guy, and he gets his 2 tokens for whatever reason. Then he attacks over me, but Safe Zone protects me. But he could MST if he wanted to, but he's just going to make that card and destroy him. He didn't have to get rid of both of his tokens, but he did anyways. Just to be safe, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just going to summon the Blizzard, and then get Gale, then make the Armored Master, then reborn as Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. I could have used the effect, but I wasn't sure if it would come back to my side of the field, so I didn't use it. But I think it would have been better just to crash with the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. And then he's going to summon the Thrasher and just attack over Gale. That's alright. And then I'm going to top deck a Dark Armed, which I'm pretty sure is dead as hell, especially since I'm going for Card Trooper. And I just milled 2 Kalutes, which is dandy. But yeah, I'm sitting on a pretty good field now, so yeah. Then he top decks the Monster Reborn, which was ridiculous since there's not much I can do. And if you're wondering why I'm running the Kachikoji, because I want to make Master Key Beetle as fast as possible, and if I don't have Umbora, I can't make Master Key Beetle very easily. So yeah. So he's going to attack and attack, and it's pretty much game at this point since I can't do much. He got those derpy cards on me. So yeah, I just have Lance and Compulse down, and obviously I can't get rid of both monsters with Compulse, so it is game. And yeah. So we're going to hop into game 3, right meow. So here's the last duel, it's for all the marbles, game 3, and yeah, I'm going first, cause yeah, and if you open Dad in this deck, it's very, very good, I would say, because yeah, Dark Armed will be dead later on in the game, because I have all these mill cards and whatnot, but if you open with it, you can manipulate your graveyard fairly easily, which is amazing, and yeah, so he's gonna do all of his shenanigans, and I'm just gonna go for the Cardie, and this is pretty much where I started to take the Cardies out, because I'd rather have other cards, but He ended up, I had to set the Monster Reborn because Card D forced me to have 7 cards now to discard anyway, so I felt like I could just set the Monster Reborn and get away with it. But he uses his trade-ins and draws into the Heavy Storm, which is unfortunate. But I'm just going to make the Gaga Cowboy because it's the only monster in my extra deck that isn't dark. And I was scared that if that card died, I would have 4 darks and then Dad would be dead. So yeah, I decided to make whatever. And yeah, I used the Maxi. I meant it should have used it. No, I really couldn't. But yeah, I just went ahead and did that because I wanted to get at least 1 draw out of it because it wasn't looking too good in that situation. I'm just going to lower, get rid of the Shura, and then I didn't realize that my only target was actually Kalut in the graveyard. But yeah, I just went ahead and made Contaster. And yeah, so he didn't draw a monster, so he's kind of out of luck in that point. He's going to Threatening Roar so I can't attack him, and that's all fine. And then he's going to use Galaxy Zero to get back his Galaxy Wizard, and he's going to compulse it back to his hand, and then use it again, which I'm not completely sure what was going on there. I guess there was some type of stipulation in the cards that said you can't do blah 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 blah. And yeah, he's going to use Photon Sanctuary, get the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, but I'm just going to bombless that, so that's not good at all for him. I'm still setting it pretty low life, so he can probably come back from it if he gets a good top deck, which he really doesn't, which is unfortunate. And yeah, the Lance will save him a turn, but you know, it's not good enough, obviously. So it's going to be with 800 life points, and it's going to summon this guy and make Master Key Beetle and target the safe zone. So I really don't think there's much you can do at this point, and then he draws another dead card. So yeah, we'll go ahead and jump into another game. Right. And this one's also another match duel because I ran into Buzz Lightyear, or Balls Lightyear, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But yeah, I ran into him and he wanted to play a little bit with me. Because, yeah, I've seen him on like SS Jason's channel, and then I guess he subscribed to me, which is really cool because I've never had a subscriber run into me, especially on Death Row. But yeah, so we're going to hop into this. He's running the Evols, I'm running Blackwings because I like Blackwings. And he's running a couple of Sabersaurs, which is an interesting tech, and he's just going to summon the Sabersaurs to end turn for the game 1. And I'm just going to summon Shura and attack, drop Kalut because I wanted to get the free card. Then I get Koichi, right? Koichi, yeah, that's his name. And then I'm going to overlay into Dejin, just randomly, really. And yeah, his hand is kind of horrific because he drew so many of his evils. Usually you don't want to get that many, you just want to kind of get like 1 or 2 and set on them. But that's okay. Then he's just going to set his Westlow because the other cards in his hand are kind of useless. They're really the ones you want to bring out with whatever, with like Westlow. But yeah, I should have really not attacked because what else is that deck going to set, but it's okay. And right here, he goes and makes his plays, and then I get a juicy +4 Torrential. Most of those cards he got for free anyways, but still, it was pretty interesting. And this is where Kage to Kage is kind of, you know, dead sometimes because you'll get like multiples of them, which is why I only run 2. But yeah, if you don't get a monster, a level 4 monster to summon, then you're kind of out of luck in that point because you can't do much. And yeah, it was a big reason why I wanted to make Dejin because I was scared of his back row. And yeah, I'm just going to bottomless that Serato because that thing's pretty good, I heard. It didn't get his effect, but it's still a 1900 beater, which is pretty good. And then I get Dad, and I had no idea how many darks I had in the graveyard. I actually had 1 and a 2, so I had to wait for him to detach 1 off of Simply Dejin, which is what Dark Hole is for, because I can just Dark Hole and then detach 1, and then Special Dark Armed and pop his back row, but he has Collapse. And I guess that's supposed to go with the Serato, plus all of his monsters are really beaters, but yeah, I went ahead and just dropped the Maxi, because the only way he's getting out of this is like Gore's, Fader, or Trag. And yeah, I won game 1 because his hand really wasn't that great. But yeah, we'll go ahead and jump into game 2. Right, meow. And yeah, as you can see, I won this game too because there's only 2 games here. And I didn't realize we were siding, but he sided for me because he put in Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, but it's alright. It's all fair in love and war and Yu-Gi-Mans, obviously. But I have a pretty decent hand here. It's just, yeah, I needed more monsters, but I'm just going to summon the Card Trooper and attack into his monster. It's a Westlow, of course, which is not looking too good for me at this point because he just got us that Serato for free, which means he can attack over the Card Trooper, and then, yeah, he's got all types of plays here. And, yeah, he's going to add another Westlow, and then, yeah, and then he's going to activate Shadow Imprisoning Mirror just in case I have Gores. And then he makes Dolka, which means I am just kind of shit out of luck at this point because there's not much I can do. But yeah, he's going to activate Whirlwind with Shura, and then get a Bora, and then try to attack over the Dolka, but he has the D-Prison, which is really unfortunate because I'm not sure what I can do about this now. And yeah, he just keeps on doing all of his stuff, and he's scared to summon, which I don't blame him, because if he runs another Torrential, he's out of luck. And then I top decked the Dark Armed, which really was the best possible top deck in that situation. And yeah, I kind of sacked in there. But, you know, he had a really good field on his hand. And yeah, there wasn't many cards I could get out of it with. But he's just going to get another card, and he's going to activate that guy, which Swing of Memories is actually a really cool card in that deck. And then he's going to make Violon Prism, but I just bottomless it, so he couldn't do much. Then he makes Pooptopia, which is what he called it, which I agree with him because it's not very good. And as you can see, that Maxi was just so wonderful because I draw so many cards. Then I make Armor Master, and then I use Zephyros, and I completely forgot about Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, so I completely wasted the Black Whirlwind, or Zephyros effect, I'm sorry, because I was going to use Kage Dutage plus Zephyros to make more combos, but completely forgot the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror stops cards from the graveyard as well. But just going to want to make a Shock Master here because why not, and then attack. I was thinking that was another Westlow, which is why I called monsters. And I have 5 back row here because I have Solemn Judgment, and he's realizing that there's not much you can do when you can't use monster effects, plus I have 4 back row. So yeah, that was that game. He was really nice about all these cards and whatnot. He didn't complain any at all, and it was really nice of him. And yeah, we'll go and hop into another game. Right, meow. Alrighty, so we're just going to start at the top now with just, you know, the random duels that I accumulated. And this one is against Burning Knucklers or Battle Boxers, whatever they are. It's Asian Eyes White Dragon's deck because he's running the Mech Lords, or maybe he took his own spin with it, I don't know. But yeah, just going to summon the Koichi, which I completely spaced that I used Duality, because I was going to summon Kage Dutage, but it works out because I have the Kalute, and he's going to special summon Trag, and I don't really completely know why. But whatever, you know. And then I'm just going to summon the Zephyros and then go for the Thought Ruler. I really made this because SS Jason has been really loving this card lately. So, you know, there you go. It's a special card. And it's a really good goddamn card, actually. And then he's going to go and do all of his shenanigans, make Gaga a Cowboy, and try to attack over the Thought Ruler. But I'm going to lance him in the damage step and then add 1500 to my life, which is amazing. Then he's going to go for BLS, and it's obvious that that's not working out too well for him. And then I top deck the Kalute, which means I can go for game because I can special summon Kage Dutage, and then attack, and then drop Kalute on this. I should have attacked with Thought Ruler first, just in case Gores, especially since I could have gotten I could have killed the Gores with Kalute and then summoned another monster, but yeah, that's a little misplay I made there, but it didn't matter at all. So yeah, so we'll go and hop into another game. Right now. And this one is against that weird fairy deck, I think. I haven't actually looked at it. Yeah, it's that Sliither OTK thing with that one card. I'm not completely sure what it is that does all the shenanigans. But yeah, he gets the Venus, which he decided not to use the Venus, which is a very weird idea, in my opinion. So he's pretty much playing minus as possible because that was a really, I would say, dumb move because he had some plays there and he could have just sat on them, but whatever. But yeah, I'm going to get back the Kalute with Blizzard and then bounce it back with Zephyros, which is a really good play with Blizzard, and I like that play. So yeah, just going to make the armor Armed Wing, and I'm going to set double bottomless because I knew what he was playing when I saw the card Destruction in Valhalla. So I figured if he summons one of them, maybe I'll have an out, and then if he has another one, I'll have an out for that one too. And yeah, he quits because he didn't get what card he needs because of that stupid card Destruction that he really shouldn't have used, but whatever. So we'll go and hop into another game. Right, meow. So we're going to go ahead and load it up. This is against the Machina Gadgets, which was a pretty interesting duel, I remember. And I'm just going to summon the Shura, Special Bora, and then go for Master Key Beetle because I have the Safe Zone in my hand. And he has double MST, which is not looking too good for him because he can't target the Safe Zone. And yeah, he's going to set double bottomless like a pro, like I did. And then I'm just going to, attack over the red gadget. And then I'm going to set a bottomless and a compulse. And then just use Master Key Beetle to target the bottomless because I didn't want it to get MST'd, which he tried to. And then he's going to go for Machina Fortress because he doesn't know what I have face down. And we're going to activate Safe Zone on this Key Beetle. So when he tries to crash, it's not going to work out too well for him, I would say. Then it's going to Card Trooper because, yeah, it's pretty good. And I think I have 3 darks in the graveyard now, don't I? I have 1, a 2, and a 3. So, sorry. And Dad will be lad. Dad will be alive as soon as I decide to. But yeah, I'm going to bottomless his Gear Gigant, and it's pretty obvious he doesn't have much because he has double bottomless down. So when I tried to use Dark Armed, he could have bottomlessed it, but I still had the Master Key Beetle, which was a huge problem for him because he can't get rid of it, and he can't really attack over it either. So yeah, he had to quit because Master Key Beetle and Safe Zone is such a good lock. And yeah, if you can make a deck around it, I would recommend it. So yeah, we'll go and jump into another game. This one is against the old Monarchs, and this was actually a really back and forth game, and it surprised me. You know, he didn't have more cards, but yeah, he's gonna start off setting a Treeborn. I'm gonna activate Duality, then I'm gonna summon the Bora and attack over whatever defense monster. Figured it was like a Raikou or something, but that's okay. I'm just gonna set the Lance because I figure Lance can really do whatever against Monarchs, but he's gonna MST, and I really probably shouldn't have done that on targeting Bora, but I was really paranoid of enemy controller. But yeah, he's going to attack over me. He's going to try to attack over me with Swap Frog. I'm just going to drop a Clute because, yeah, I want to try to deal as much damage as possible because Monarchs has a really good matchup against my deck. So yeah, because Caius can just banish whatever the fuck he wants, and I'm just out of luck at that point. He's going to make that stupid little Slacker Magician or She-Neat Magician, which is really unfortunate, and then he gets another Swap Frog. Which is really lucky for him because he has more plays now. But yeah, I'm just going to set more back row because I was really scared of this Monarch matchup. And I figured why not just do it. And then yeah, I'm just going to summon another Bora and then use Kage Tutage. And then I'm going to make the Cold Bird Beast because I wanted to try to negate that thing's effect so I could attack over it. But yeah, this is another cool card. This is the main reason why I wanted to keep this game, even though I do make a couple misplays later on in the game. But yeah, I'm going to do that and make Dark Armed. And I figured that I can manipulate the grave well enough with Blizzard to get Dark Armed live again after using the Compulse, which I do, and then I attack, and he has a Fader, and I was really hoping that I could finish him off, but I was really paranoid of him drawing like Lad, so I decided to use Battle Fader. But he has the Dark Dust Spirit, which is so unfortunate because that card completely wrecks me, especially when I have two really good monsters on board. But yeah, he's gonna make a single Gachi, which is very sad. And then I draw a Safe Zone, so I need ways to make other cards. So yeah, he's gonna summon the Swap Frog, which is unfortunate because I can't bottomless that. And yeah, then I get Zephyros, so I'm just gonna summon the Zephyros, which might have not been the best idea because I could have held on to it, but whatever. And he decides to sack for Kai's here and banish the Zephyros, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I'm just gonna go and bottomless it. He still gets the effect, which is sad. I was really hoping that he wouldn't draw a Caius, but yeah, he drew a Caius. He's really not running into his Monarchs, which is surprising. And yeah, I decided not to set another Safe Zone because that Heavy Storm is pretty good, I heard. And he actually drew it too. So he's going to set the Torrential, and I'm like, oh, okay. I was sure his back row was something, because obviously he's not going to just, he's just not going to get the Treeborn back for no reason. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and chain the Safe Zone when he activates Torrential, which is why I think he should have used that. Well, actually he couldn't because Koichi got special summoned in the damage step. But yeah, he had the Torrential and got rid of a detach on Gachi, which means I can start attacking over his Gachis. But yeah, he tried to affect Valor, the Master Key Beetle, but forgot he couldn't target it because of Safe Zone. And yeah. We actually learned something really cool in this duel. We have to wait to get to that. And then he's going to attack over my card Trooper. I get to draw a card, so I'm fine with it. And yeah, that's why I think you'll hear me later say that I think Torrential could be taken out of this deck pretty easily. Which is like, yeah. But because if you Torrential, Master Key Beetle will die because it's not opponent's card effect. Which means Safe Zone doesn't stop it. And I misplayed pretty badly there. I just completely derped and decided to use Safe Zone on the Armed Wing. Which obviously wasn't very smart. But yeah, since he's such low life, that guy decided to use Gores. He tribute summoned for Gores, which is always a pro play. But yeah, I was going to attack over the Gachi, and hopefully I can start finishing him off soon, which would be nice. Yeah. And then he's going to go Heavy Storm, which I'm like, oh shit. So it's a good thing I added the Solemn Judgment. I wanted to save it for like a Caius or something, because I was scared of him using something good against me. But yeah. So he's going to attack over the Gachi and all that good stuff. And yeah, so he's got triple Soul Exchange in his hand, which is very sad for him. But yeah, I'm just going to go and attack over the Zen mains, and he's going to try to pop a card. And he targets the Safe Zone for whatever reason. He couldn't destroy it, but whatever. And then he targets the Safe Zone again, which was amazing because right there you'll learn, I'll go ahead and pause it, that Master Key Beetle should have been destroyed, but since Safe Zone, or because Safe Zone said that when his cards are moved from the field, destroy that monster. But apparently Master Key Beetle can still send that Safe Zone from the top of my deck to the graveyard to immune himself from destruction. It was actually really weird. I didn't know that would happen. But yeah, we're going to hop back into it. So I'm just going to summon Gale and half his Ryza so I can attack and go for game, which is good because 1300 with that. That's why I was saving the Gale, because I was hoping he would go for something and I could attack over it for game, which I do. So yeah, that's game. And now we will hop into another game. We're going to hop into it right meow, and this one's against that new vampire deck, which, yeah, this is actually where I figured out that the vampires were actually on Dev Pro and decided to make my own deck. So I'm just going to go ahead and decide to start off by just summoning Bora, which was a bad play on my part because I should have either done Koichi or Kage Dotage. But yeah, I really wanted to make a Master Key Beetle here, so I decided to Heavy Storm because I knew I had Master Key Beetle plus Safe Zone ready for it. But I really should have done that turn 1 just in case he had something. But that's alright. He decides not to Heavy Storm, I don't really blame him. And I draw a double maxi, so good, right? But just going to go ahead and attack over with Bora. And he's going to use that Vampire Sorcerer, which is really good because he gets to add a card. Plus he can make his level 5 monster. I really feel like he misplayed here. He probably should have made that other Vampire card. Pause. I bottomless that thing, by the way. I'm sure he's running out of this card. He really should have made that instead, I think. Because he could have got one of my monsters back. And yeah, he could have still attacked over and whatnot. But it's alright. Error occurs because I'm pretty sure he quit after that play. I'm just going to maxi, and then he realizes that he really can't make his plays. So he quits, and I'm not sure why DevPro does that error occurs. It's really stupid, but whatever. So I got one last game for you, and it's against Elemental Dragons, so always save the best for last, and show how much of a derp this guy was. So yeah. Alrighty, so we're going up against Elemental Dragons. You know, this is obviously a stupid matchup for me, because, yeah, fuck Elemental Dragons. And then, yeah, he's going to do all of his derps. He makes some misplays here, which is, like, wow, good job. But, yeah, he's just going to go for Draco Sack, and he's like, oh, well, that's fun. And then he's going to use that just to quite literally draw 2 cards, which I don't agree with, but whatever. So I'm just going to Dark Hole because I wanted to attack into him with Shura. And he's going to breakthrough skill me, of course, so that's amazing. But, yeah, I can't use the effect, but I still killed the Draco Sack, which is nice. And then he decides to get that guy and then summon Valor and go for Crimson Blader, which I'm like, oh, well, I pretty much lost at this point because there's not much I can do to get out of this. But yeah, I'm just going to summon the Card Trooper in mill 3 because I'm hoping to get out of this somehow. But this is where he decides to be stupid and use Card Destruction. For whatever reason, he just gave me the ways to get out of the this. And I draw Shura plus Kalut, which means GG. And yeah. So I'm just going to summon Shura and attack into the Crimson Blader, which means he really shouldn't use Card Destruction because I would have easily lost this duel if he wouldn't have used Card Destruction. But yeah, I have the Safe Zone plus Key Beetle, which is funny because he's going to try to do stuff. And he's going to use Breakthrough Skill on me, which is whatever. And then he quits because he realizes that he can't do much. I think his graveyard wasn't set up properly, so he couldn't do much to get out of this, and he decided to quit because he's a bad E-Dragon player. So yeah. I was even going on in the chat about how he had game if he wouldn't use Card Destruction like a noob. But whatever, that's pretty much it. We'll go and hop into the decks and all that good stuff, so hold on. So here is the Blackwings deck profile. I really do love the Blackwings and all that good stuff, so we'll go and hop into it because we're actually running short on time here. So I got a Dark Arm because if you open with this card, it's really ridiculous. You'll probably draw it later on dead, so if you want to take it out, I don't blame you. And then we got Triple Shura because he's the best card ever. You just attack over something and then get out a Koichi or a Gale. And Gale will get you Armor Mastered, and Koichi will get you any of these level 4 XYZs. And then we got Bora because Bora plus Zephyros or Shura or Koichi will get you a Master Key Beetle. And you really don't want to make Master Key Beetle unless you have like Safe Zone on the field, I say. And then sometimes if you have like Black Whirlwind, which means like Safe Zone, Black Whirlwind, and Master Key Beetle on the field together is really ridiculous, if you didn't know. And then Zephyros is really good, because, yeah, even decks that aren't Blackwings run it, so you know it's pretty good. He has a good combo with Blizzard, because you can get back something with Blizzard, and then activate Zephyros' effect to add that card back to your hand, plus getting this and then going for Armed Wing. So yeah, and then I got double Kage Dotage. I don't know about this card completely because sometimes you'll draw it and it'll be dead, but if you could normal summon it, that would be great, but you can't, obviously, because it would be too good. But yeah, the whole objective there is like summon Shura, Bora, Zephyros, or Koichi, and then special summon Kage Kage to have more ways to make Master Key Beetle. I don't know, it's kind of iffy, but I like it. And then we got double Koichi. I never ran this card, and then I started running it since like I saw some people doing it, and then Shura plus this guy is really good. And I wouldn't run more than one if you weren't running this really spam version of it. But yeah, it's really good. And then we got triple Kalute because this card at 3 is ridiculous. It's obviously not as good as it used to be, but it's okay. I like Kalute. It's like the best of all those hand traps that raises attack, obviously, other than Honest. But yeah, I like it. And then we got Gale because Gale's really good, and he's a good Shura target, plus he can have an attack, which is always good. You saw me use it a couple times. And we got double Card Trooper. I like this card too because you get a draw out of it, plus you can mill like Zephyros or Darks for Dark Armed. If you don't want to run that, you can take that out too if you want, but I like it, and then I would recommend it. And then we got one Blizzard, and I would recommend putting 2 of these guys in there if you're going to take out like Kage, Dark Armed, or Card Trooper, because this card actually does combo really well. I just left one in there because I really get tired of drawing multiples of this guy and then never being able to do anything, which is always a problem I had when I was running like Icarus at 3 and this guy at 2 or 3. And yeah, then I got double Maxi because I feel like you need that against most of the meta, which is sad. But whatever. And then we'll go and hop into spells. I got Allure of Darkness because everything's dark. And then we got Heavy Storm because, yeah, Heavy Storm's good. Then Dark Hole. I don't care what you say, I'm still not taking it out. I like it. And then Monster Reborn, double Duality. Double Lance because Lance will protect your monsters. Yeah, I would definitely recommend putting in the MSTs in your side because game 2 you're going to be pretty sad when somebody puts in that Shadow Imprisoning Mirror or Macrocosmos and there's not much you can do about it. So yeah, maybe switch out the Lances for MSTs or take out something else for MSTs game 2 and 3. But yeah, then Black Whirlwind because this card is ridiculous. And for whatever reason, Wind Up Factory is at 3, but Black Whirlwind is limited. Like, Wind Up Factory is such a better version of Black Whirlwind, and yet Konami won't give Black Whirlwind back. I would like it at 2, but I would settle either for Whirlwind or Gale. I would really rather have Gale at 2, because I give Shura more targets, plus this card's really good for like anti-meta decks and stuff. Not really anymore, but it used to be, but whatever. I digress. And then we got double Bottomless because this card's good. Then double Torrential, besides Dark Armed, Card Trooper, and Kage Utage, I would maybe consider taking out Torrential because Master Key Beetle does not like Torrential when you use it because Safe Zone does not protect him against your own card effects. It only protects you against your opponent's card effects, so maybe take out a Torrential or 2. I don't know. You can put in back the cards if you wanted to, but then I got double Compulsory because this card is so good against the metagame. It's kind of ridiculous, but then we got triple Safe Zone because the whole point of this is to get out Master Key Beetle and sit on it with Safe Zone because your opponent can't really do anything. And then the Solemn Judgment because Solemn Judgment's pretty good, I heard, because negate anything because why not. And then for the extra deck we got Crimson Blader, Scrap Dragon, Thought Ruler, Archfiend, and Dark End Dragon because Koichi is a level 4 tuner, which is pretty amazing because you can summon this special Bora and then all of these cards are live. I decided not to put in either of the Stardusts, like Stardust or the Stardust Carrot form, because yeah, I'm pretty tight on extra deck and I feel like these 4 will get you out of any situation that you need. You might even want to take out like Dark End, but it gets rid of cards just so easily. And then you might want to take out Thought Ruler, but I like Thought Ruler. And SS Jason showed me the light that is Thought Ruler because he's pretty nice. And then we have an armed Armor Master. I know back in the day, you always ran 2 at least of Armor Master, but since I'm only running 1 Gale, and that's pretty much the only way to make Armor Master, which is Gale plus Shura, Bora, or Zephyros, it's pretty much, Gale, so there you go. And then I put in one of these side conductor Behemoth. Obviously, this card isn't out in the TCG, but I still like it because it's an alternate target for Blizzard. Because sometimes that 2300 just can't handle it, and Behemoth can really get rid of anything. But if you're playing TCG, I'd recommend putting in Gaia, whatever the fuck his name is. But yeah, that guy, the 2600 beater, and then one Cataster because Blizzard plus Kalute. You can make Cataster, and sometimes you just need it. And then for the XYZs, we got double Master Key Beetle because I've never really made two of them, but I'm not sure if I want to take one out or not because there might be a situation where I would want another one. But yeah, really these XYZs are kind of lacking. I want another one just to go for randomly because Djinn feels like it's just not very good against the metagame right now, but whatever, because you know Big Eye just like LOL no, I'm taking you. But then Shockmaster, because Shockmaster is good against Prophecy so well. Like you can do it fairly easily with like summon Bora or Zephyros or Shura, and then special summon Kage. So then you could special summon another Bora, or you like use Zephyros somehow with Bora. So yeah, there's a lot of combos you can do to get Shockmaster out. Which if you need to go minus for it, it sometimes is really goddamn good, but I wouldn't recommend doing that if you don't know what your matchup is, obviously. But yeah, then Black Ship of Corn, because it's another dark, plus it gets rid of Spirit Reapers, Marshmallows, and all that other bullshit you don't want to deal with. And then one of these Syphiline, the Cold Bird Beast, because it negates all opponent's effects, plus you get up to like 23 or 26, 29. Any multiples of 300, but yeah, it negates all their effects, plus you can attack over them, which is really good. So yeah, then one Sympathy Djinn, because this card's obviously good, and then Cowboy, because Cowboy for game is really fun. And here's some other cards you could run. You could run like a Thunder King, a Blizzard, a Card Cars, another Maxi, Abyss Dweller, then there's like Dark Eruption. I wouldn't really recommend that. Then MSTs, a Lance, Eradicator, Macros, and Goes and Match, which I would play if I actually made a side deck, but this isn't really much of a side deck now, is it? So yeah, that's the deck profile. Leave me some comments down there because I want to know what you think. And if you enjoyed, like and subscribe for more. So yeah, I'm out. Later, guys.